George Balekji here with Nesson Patriots beat reporter Zack Cox. First day of practice this week for the Patriots as the Buccaneers come to town. And Zack, you ask any of the players this week about the matchup. It's the Patriots against the Buccaneers. Bill Belichick spoke today at the podium, and he was praising Tom Brady, which kind of uncharacteristic for him, but really showering him with a lot of praise.
Yeah, Bill Belichick is really taking the high road, I would say, with this week. I didn't expect him to come out and bash Tom Brady or anything like that. You knew there were going to be some compliments, but yeah, it was a little bit even higher than I was expecting. He said this morning that Tom has had an unbelievable career. There are not enough superlatives and adjectives to compliment him on everything that he's achieved and continues to achieve. Called it unbelievably impressive. I think those are all accurate statements, but it was definitely a little bit interesting to hear just how effusive Bill Belichick was with Tom Brady this morning.
He even opened up the presser joking any stories this week. So surprisingly in a happy mood for Tom returning to town, especially with all the reports coming out and the cloud over the Pats right now of just what the relationship is between the two of them.
Absolutely, especially with the excerpts from Seth Wickersham's forthcoming book coming out this morning. Bill Belichick was asked about one of those, one of the more kind of sensational aspects of that story, that he refused to meet in person with Tom Brady after Brady decided to leave the Patriots, instead preferring to talk to him on the phone. He said this morning that report was not true. So definitely some he said, she said with that.
Now that's off the field stuff. Finally on the field, Tampa Bay Buccaneers this morning signing Richard Sherman. So kind of a safety valve cornerback because they're all banged up on defense. Their pass defense not that great. Their pass rush not good either. N'Keal Harry back at practice today for the Pats. Trent Brown once again practicing as well. What does this mean for the Pats offense leading up to Sunday?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether we actually see N'Keal Harry on the field this week. He did return to practice today wearing his new number 1. He looks good in the number 1. I think he's got the look down, but it still remains to be seen whether he'll be activated. The Patriots have 21 days to add him to the 53-man roster now that he's back practicing from injured reserve. Wouldn't expect him to play a gigantic role in this offense. I still think that he's the number 4 receiver behind Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, but I do think that they potentially could utilize him in the red zone. He does have that big body. He has that contested catch ability. All 4 of his touchdowns in his NFL career have come inside the 10-yard line, so he can be used in that role. We just haven't really seen it from him consistently. But as you mentioned, there are some real questions about this Buccaneers secondary. The fact that they had to go out and sign Richard Sherman, 33-year-old guy, hasn't played since last season. It sounds like he is going to play this weekend. We could even see him in a significant role. It just sort of shows where the Bucs defense is right now, especially on the back end, not nearly as dominant as that offense so far this season.
And really quick, lastly, we saw Mac Jones a few deep shots last week. It is the joke. It is kind of beating a dead horse, mentioning how many deep balls he's thrown per game, but it has to bode well for him. Healthy receiving core, all 4 guys back if Harry can play, and going against a poor defense, and they'll have to score points because the Buccaneers will themselves.
Absolutely. You can't have the same kind of offensive results that the Patriots have had in recent weeks and expect them to win this game. It can't be a touchdown and a couple of field goals. I would say that they're probably better off dialing back the deep passes a little bit, just because Mac Jones didn't really have a lot of success on those against the Saints the other day. But I do think that this is a matchup that, if not clearly favors the Patriots, it's definitely closer than a lot of people would think from that defensive side between these Patriots wide receivers, these Buccaneers defensive backs. I think there are some things the Patriots can exploit in this game, and I think they'll definitely try to on Sunday night.
So all the excitement is Brady versus Belichick. It'll also be Jones against that Buccaneers defense. Zach, as always, thank you, man.
Thank you.